It was an excellent night when the excellent clerk, Ivan Dmitrich Chevyakov, sat in the second row of the stalls, enjoying La Cloche de Corneville with the aid of opera glasses. He watched the stage and thought himself the happiest of mortals, when all of a sudden has become a hackneyed expression, but how can authors help using it since life is full of surprises? All of a sudden, then, his face puckered up, his eyes rolled heavenwards, his breath was suspended. Turning his face away from the opera glasses, he doubled up in his seat and, shoo! That is to say, he sneezed. Now everyone has a right to sneeze wherever he likes. Peasants, police inspectors, even privy councillors sneeze. Everyone sneezes. Everyone. Chervyakov felt no embarrassment, dabbed at his nose with his pocket handkerchief, and, like a well-bred man, looked round to see whether his sneezing had incommoded anyone. And then he did feel embarrassed, for he saw a little old man sitting in the first row just in front of him, carefully wiping his bald cranium and neck with his glove, muttering something the while. Chervyakov recognized in the old man Civil General Brizilov of the Ministry for Communications. I sneezed over him, thought Chervyakov. He is not my chief, it's true, but still it's very awkward. I must apologize. Chervyakov leaned forward with a little cough and whispered in the general's ear. I beg your pardon, Your Excellency. I sneezed. I didn't mean to. Don't mention it. Do forgive me. It wasn't premeditated. Can't you keep quiet, for goodness sake? Let me listen. Chervyakov, somewhat disconcerted, smiled sheepishly and tried to turn his attention to the stage. He watched the actors, but no longer felt the happiest of mortals. He was devoured by remorse. Walking up to Brizilov in the interval, he hung about for a while and at last, conquering his timidity, mumbled, I sneezed at you, Your Excellency. Pardon me. You know, I didn't mean. Oh, really? I've forgotten it. Must you go on? The general said, his underlip twitching impatiently. He says he's forgotten, but I don't like the look in his eyes, thought Chervyakov, glancing distrustfully in the general's direction. Doesn't want to talk to me. I must explain to him that I didn't mean to, that it's a law of nature. Otherwise, he might think I meant to spit on him. Even if he doesn't think so now, he might afterwards. When he got home, Chervyakov told his wife of his ungentlemanly conduct. It seemed to him that his wife received his story with undue levity. True, she was alarmed for a moment, but finding Brizilov was not our chief, she was reassured. I think you ought to go and apologize, though, she said. or he'll think you don't know how to behave in company. That's it. I tried to apologize, but he was so strange. Didn't say a word of sense. Besides, there was no time for talking. Next day, Chervakov put on his new official frock coat and had his hair cut and went to explain his conduct to Brizalov. The general's reception room was full of petitioners, and the general himself was there receiving petitions. After interviewing a few of them, the general raised his eyes to Chervyakov's face. Last night, in the Arcadia, if you remember, Your Excellency, began the clerk, I sneezed and happened to, I beg, Pshaw, what nonsense, said the general. What can I do for you? He asked, addressing the next man. Won't listen to me, thought Chervyakov, turning pale. It means he's angry. I can't leave it at that. I must explain to him. When the general, having received the last petitioner, turned to go back to his private apartment, Chervakov pursued him, muttering, Excuse me, Your Excellency, nothing but my heartfelt repentance emboldens me to trouble Your Excellency. The general looked as if he were going to cry and waved him away. You were laughing at me, sir, he said, and shut the door in his face. Laughing? Thought Chervyakov. I don't see anything funny in it. Doesn't he understand? And he a general? Very well, I won't bother the fine gentleman with my apologies any more. Devil take him. I'll write him a letter. I won't go to him any more. I won't, and that's all. Such were Chervykov's thoughts as he walked home. But he did not write the letter. He thought and thought, but could not think how to word it, so he had to go to the general the next day to get things straight. I ventured to trouble you yesterday, Your Excellency, he began when the general turned a questioning glance upon him. Not to laugh at you, as Your Excellency suggested. I came to bring my apologies for having inconvenienced you by sneezing. As for laughing at you, I would never think of such a thing. How would I dare to? If we took it into our heads to laugh at people, there would be no respect left, no respect for superiors. Get out of here, barked the general, livid and shaking with rage. I beg your pardon, whispered Chervyakov, numb with terror. Get out, repeated the general, stamping his foot. Chervyakov felt as if something had snapped inside him. He neither heard nor saw anything as he backed towards the door, walked out into the street, and wandered on. He stumbled mechanically home, lay down on the sofa, just as he was, in his official frock coat, and died.